Art of embracing the stress and strain of change. Midsummer. When dearly beloved Mother Earth leans as far north as she can tilt, most directly towards the sun's shining rays, betwixt June 20th, 21st, and 22nd, slowly stationing direct, then standing still, momentarily, before essentially retrograding again, respectfully, and yet slowly sped up until slowing down again upon the fall of the next equinox, etc. As usual, the light or illumination is at its most intense and resplendent display, giving us longer and the longest days of every given year during this here lunar bi-week or half-month period, as always happens upon this hemisphere between 6:14 to 6:29. When and where hotter temperatures and warmer spirits go hand in hand with all of it, as dazzlingly showcased by this, one of Her Majesty's most powerful, scintillating, and holiest of days, the summer solstice, of course, no less, as simultaneously juxtaposed to coincide with the southern hemisphere's winter, or solstice. So to redundantly speak in circles, or rather in ellipses and parabolas as mantra, all on account of and behalf of all that our life-giving, sustaining star has to offer Gaia's wonderful children, from least to lowliest creatures unto the loftiest, doing unto ourselves for ye greater good itself. She is whom really giveth and taketh away, most certainly not some discarnate fictitious deity nor idolatry. Nay, for her teachings are no way theistic. In fact, they are what hath taught and teaches us all one's ever known, knows, and shall know. 'Tis only natural and organic, so to sacrilegiously speak. From whence the sun pulls the covers off a good night's sleep to the east, plodding on through the day's events, unabated unto tucking in come nightfall by western horizon's setting blanket, again and again, spurring life to go on revolving around same in sequential perpetuity and unison. All that there is to hear, see, smell, taste, touch, and experience upon Madre Terra Firma is a direct result of her sacred relationship with our venerable sun. This particular span of the seasons turns out to mark a most dramatic, joyous, and significant time to celebrate, rejoice, and reminisce. According to the elder Forthrarch's cyclically calendarized stave, DAGAS, in high regards to the parts we play in this marvelous pageantry, or tragedy, metaphorically akin to the Earth-Sun relationship life and the living finds itself in. And we are by no means alone, nor the only sentients to have same fascinations and sentiments, for this has been ongoing, for tens of hundreds of thousands of years, and for billions more for sure. It is of utmost importance, one understands. We are not just natural byproducts of this Earth-Sun companionship. Nay, one needs to realize we are partners in and with it too. So it behooves us to show as much acknowledgement and respect as well, in the first and last place. Paying homage is the present challenge, for one only has but one blessed day to do so within, while the radiant rays are stretched as far and wide as they'll ever be in any given year. So don't take for granted the seemingly ample time 24 hours grants. For as soon as the sun reaches its zenith, within seconds, the warmth begins to cool, the brightness starts creeping towards darkness, and summer's glow begins to diminish into the throes of winter once again. And as the days shorten into longer nights we're left to ponder the truths which can't be conceived of in the brilliance of light, without also embracing and holding true to the shadows cast too. Just as vision doth not last forever, as clay vessels are too temporary, neither do we by the same default token, giving all the more credence and reason for making each and every fricking day count as best one can, as have been mandated to, yea, thou hast chosen to. Truly, one's highest obligation is to thyself in fellowship with everything else. See, and though ye sun continually rises and sets as usual, along with its flowing and receding rays, so does one's experience of it shift too, luckily without the tribal panic or mass hysteria that our ancestors so ignorantly, unnecessarily subjected themselves to, whom, of course, used to do stupid, sadistic shit, such as animal and or human, or dare say virgin sacrifices, just to make double or triple sure they'd make it through another harsh winter and ensure another harvest was assured, as if bloodletting has anything to do with any of it, was and is actually criminal, or more fucking insane. Alas, humanity's psyche is still as foolish and childlike in other sinister ways, stained with that long ingrained need to encounter the release of some sort of ritualistic offering, homage, or whatnot, however apropos on purpose, and yet for a damn good reason to be sure. Fortunately, the task or initiation need not be so gruesome or permanent, for all the summer solstice is asking of one, or of us all, is to acknowledge and account for all the good fortune and grace in one's life, such that such understanding persists throughout remainder of the year. On a practical level, the present days and next 2 weeks are optimistic and basically concern matters of accounting or micro-harvesting of hearth and home, challenging one to honor that which is good about thine life, whilst discarding that which is not. This particular turning point stands in stark contrast, and yet as a similar and yet distinct complement or complement to midwinter solstice, which itself emphasizes a whole year's worth of accounting, as opposed to just a single day's amount. In other words, what one would normally do to assess the success of a year, then, one is asked to employ in but a day. Although holding 100% true to that ideal is impossible to do, it nevertheless behooves you to focus on that which matters most, day unto day in and out. The resulting opportunity in disguise is to realize what of each day brings purpose and has meaning, how time is spent, what is fulfilling, and likewise what's not, and how one's attitude adversely or appropriately affects and or affects same. The point is to be or become impeccable with confidence and determination in order to and or procreate that which can and or may support even more bounty for one and all tomorrow. Granted, going deep within oneself is an intense, if not feared experience for most. However, currently, the ordeal is very well balanced and made easy by the guiding light of this here solstice. As always, standing as the cornerstone or foundation when and upon where internal auditing is the key to attaining and opening more doors. The stark contrast of this balancing act, or clockwork changing of the guards, teetering between the precise midpoint of most light and least darkness at this time, sets up the spiritual framework and pace of same. For the rest of this here lunar year, opening a sacred door, portal, or rite of passage through which everyone's comfort zone is collectively tested in some way, shape, fashion, and or form, with the exams and or examinations being about the spaces betwixt and between, dredging up uncertainties to contend and or deal with, which few, of course, can't or don't sit very well with. In otherworldly words, when tensions is and or are not fully one thing or another, is where make or break decisions occur by Mother Nature's design. Naturally, of course, for at the heart and soul of any initiation is change, transition being the ultimate catalyst, which only comes when one has reached a and or the tipping point of crisis, climax, or ecstatic crescendo, so to counterintuitively speak. Though it's not always explosive or frightening. 'Tis in fact more at exciting, if not benign, and chances are you won't even feel nor notice nothing different or out of the ordinary. That is, unless highly tuned in. Otherwise, one's more likely to realize the shift in hindsight or retrospect. And although light is the prominent feature of any given summer solstice, it is, and only can be, defined by what its shadows or the negative spaces reveal, where darkness and light dwells in neither, and yet in both. Albeit this perfect center or fulcrum does not remain poised for long, for as we all very well know, within a moment's notice, days begin to grow shorter to shortest, only to be gradually overtaken by what else? The darkness itself again, whereupon said threshold one either completes their so-called initiation, rite of passage, or not, gaining on the one hand, or losing the hand dealt on the other. The gifts handed us of summer solstice for overall growth and development is a and or the chance to abide, standing tall, wholly undiluted within the center of self and all things combined. 'Tis an opportunity to draw upon the wisdom from work done so far this year, as well as from allies of one's previous sun cycle, with the new ones befriended this year becoming next year's previous sun cycle allies. Get it? Obtaining from all of the above that which gives one's life purpose, meaning, and direction. Ideally, one wants to be where it feels most comfortable being at the local time of thy summer solstice's true alignment. And if you can't be where one most love to be, whether by location and or time of day, well, just imagine self there and then instead in the right place at the right time, in the right frame of mind, of course. Preferably begun at least 15 minutes prior to through 15 minutes past the apex event. Yes, this particular initiation happens just that fast, and yet as slow as molasses can be in the cosmological scheme of things, given that our granite planet spins at about 1,000 miles per hour, revolving around the sun approximately 67,000 miles per hour, spinning at a whopping 448,000 miles per hour, circling the solar system, and yet another 1.3 million miles per hour hurtling within the Milky Way's vortex. Everything seamlessly tethered together in solidarity. While any incompleted initiation or rite of passage not gone through is prone to fester into a form of spiritual post-traumatic stress. No bueno preparación para la próxima vida. That is, the more genuine thou art with thyself, the more moving the experience, growth, and development shall be. After all, 'tis been collectively ordained for sake of every soul to find their own divine way back home. DAGAS.